Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 YouTubers who have personally helped me to grow, and I'm not going to talk about what they have taught me, because if you want to learn about that, then I'll personally recommend that you go to their channel and understand what they have to say. I'm going to talk about these creators and how I personally look at each creator from a different perspective. So from someone maybe I'm learning a lot as a person, but from someone I'm taking practical tips. So without any further delay, just get into the video. So the first creator which I have actually discovered the last is Healthy Gamer GG. So Dr. Alok's channel Healthy Gamer GG is based around mental health topics, especially in the gamer community, but I have personally recognized that it can be applied to all of us. The main core principle of Dr. Alok is to share that why we as humans don't understand or learn about our emotional intelligence. As we grow up, our education system and everything has always forced us in a way to be more career oriented, to talk about money, girls, society in general, and usually think in a way that what other people think about us, rather than us developing our own emotional intelligence since we were young kids, to understand what we like, what we don't like. No one, when they are a child, understand how the world works, and it's up to us that what we teach them. We should teach them about how the world works, but we should also teach them how their own internal emotion works, so they have a better understanding of themselves. And if they understand their emotion better, it will give them an extra tool when they navigate through the world when they're grown up. So the first video which I came across was how to be more motivated. I was kind of lacking motivation at that time, and it was just an instant connection between me and Dr. K, because the points he made in the video, I kind of understood them and I kind of like related to them, and I was like, yes, it makes sense. Then I started watching his more videos. He talks a lot about motivation, he talks a lot about daydreaming, why you're not getting anywhere, why we all are stuck in the like a mental rut, that we are not doing anything, we are not becoming a better person. And through his videos and his way of teaching people has helped me personally to understand my own emotions, to better understand why I am doing what I'm doing. And so in that regard, I highly connect with him, and through his videos I can kind of like borrow his lens to look at the world from his perspective. And then it's up to me, like, if I want to keep looking the world through that lens or not. It's like I'm developing my own lens in my own eyes, and whenever I kind of not struggle, but whenever I need to, I can borrow his lens using his videos. So that will be the first channel which I will recommend every single person who's watching this video. If you have not checked out his channel, definitely do it. Okay, if you don't want to go straight into his channel, he has done some podcasts and he has done some live stream interviews with different internet personalities. So if you are a fan of those people, maybe you can start with those videos, or you can just start with the videos which you find the most relatable, and hopefully he will be able to guide you towards looking at the world through a different lens, like I was talking about before. So that was the first channel, and it was all about my emotional intelligence and where I'm currently in my life right now. So now moving on to the second channel, that will be Unjaded Jade. So I will be very honest, I don't really watch her videos. I don't really watch her videos a lot, but for me, whatever she has done in life kind of reminds me of my younger self. So when I came to the UK in 2016, I had a lot of dreams. I wanted to do a lot of things. When I wanted to do a year abroad. I wanted to build those relationships with people and be more positive in life, because I was moving to a different country for better opportunities. And when I saw her going on her journey, it kind of just reminded me of whatever things I could have done. It's not in a bad way, it's more about, again, learning from Dr. K. It's more about accepting who we are, accepting our strengths, weaknesses, and just being happy in where I am. And I'm very happy at the moment. I have no like jealousy that I could have done that. That is kind of like, I understand if I let those emotions build up, and if I don't reflect on those emotions does lead to kind of like us blaming ourselves, and then those blame do nothing, and it does not take away all the negative things which we consider in life. So accepting that, yeah, I could have done that, but I didn't, because of my circumstances, because of who I am, who I was and am as a person, and I accept that. But looking at her journey kind of just give me a bit of happiness by seeing that yes, this is a possibility as well. People are just doing what they love, and I just get so happy to see people not being in their comfort zone, getting out there, doing something, constantly challenging themselves. And this is what I always admire from Unjaded Jade. So once in a while I go to her channel just to get that source of happiness in a way, because I don't know, I just like love seeing her like being happy and doing all these things in life. And I genuinely feel nice for her, and it's just like nice to see her like whatever she's achieving, and she is like an inspiration to me, like all the other creators are. Now that was all for the second channel, Unjaded Jade. And now moving on to the third channel, which has kind of inspired me in a lot of ways, which is Ali Abdaal. Now, Ali have recently written a book, Feel Good Productivity. I haven't gotten around to read it yet because I'm still reading because I'm still reading Atomic Habits, and when I'm going to finish that book, I'm gonna start reading this one. Like, I don't want to overwhelm myself that I have to finish this book in certain amount of time. I'm not worried. I will learn something new from this book, like I'm learning something new from Atomic Habits. So it's like a constant journey. And the reason to point out the book was not doing the promotion for his book, but just as a reminder to myself that that person was a YouTuber like couple of years ago, and now he has a book which I'm reading in my room, and I'm like trying to be a YouTuber, and I always see him in his journey as a self-made brand, and I always like look up to him in terms of what there is to achieve and all the people he's meeting and all the things he's doing. It comes down to personal preference for what a person is doing in his life and what decisions he's taking. That does not mean it aligns with my moral and values, and it goes for all the other creators like Healthy Gamer Gigi or Unjaded Jade, because I am a unique individual, so I have my own personal aims and goals, but that does not mean that I can't, get inspired from different people. For Ali, it was very inspiring for him, like it was very inspiring for me to see him, quit medicine and follow his career of being a YouTuber. And if I'm being honest, like the actual thing which I admire about him was him going to his medical school, being a doctor, but still continuing to post videos, be a part-time YouTuber. And this is what I've been personally trying to do. So I think that's why I kind of like relate to him a lot, because this is where I'm going with my life as well. So it's kind of like, always to have a role model kind of person in your life where you can see that, okay, they are there and it's a slow journey and you will also eventually get there. So that's why I kind of like admire Ali, and I always admire his struggle to not focus on money a lot and always, find that happiness. He has his own struggles, I have my own struggles, and hopefully we will meet sometime soon. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good discussion around money and happiness, but that is something my future self looking forward to. At the moment, I'm just happy to see what he's doing and just learn from these people. I will give you a very quick example. So when I was watching Ali's video, he was talking about journaling and he was talking about how he writes it down, and I was looking at his typing speed because he was typing something and I was like, damn, that is quick. And I suddenly had a realization that, okay, journaling is nice. Even Dr. K said like journaling is good, and I was like, okay, I don't like writing. It's like too much effort for me, and if you look at my handwriting, you won't be able to understand anything. It's just like how my brain works. I write too quickly and then I am not able to understand that thing after 1 or 2 days. And in terms of typing, I personally find it very boring. Then if you look at use text to speech, but that has a lot of mistake because I speak Hindi as well, I speak English, and when I like to get my thoughts out, I kind of like goes into both of the language together. So I kind of like not discovered, like I'm pretty sure people do that as well, but I kind of like came across audio journaling, and I was like, yeah, that is a good thing. And at that point, like, I'll be very honest, in my mind was like, why Ali is saying you should write it down, or he doesn't say you should write it down, he kind of like recommends it. But when people see other people, successful people, they always kind of like go, okay, he's writing it down, maybe I should write it down as well. Like, that is the only way. I mean, like, doesn't matter how much time Ali says that you can just use your notes app, or you can just use any random paper, or just any random app, you don't need a particular app or anything like that. It's kind of like true, that like that's the truth, but most of us see creators, like successful creators, do this. We kind of like tend to follow the same thing just so we avoid the failure which might comes with the thing. So that's the thing, like, if you are expecting that when we're gonna start journal and we want to do it the right way, because if you don't do it the right way, it kind of it won't work out. So that is one of the things which you clinging on to the outcome already. Then, so if we are clinging to that outcome already, then I think it won't really lead to anything over long run, because we are just overwhelming ourselves with it. So iPhone have this journal app where you can just hit the record button and for 10 minutes in the evening just go on, like say whatever you have to say. Writing, typing and speaking, I think is the same thing. In the end, it's all about taking out your emotions and putting it down. And I was giving the example of audio journal because I think this has helped me personally a bit, since I've been doing it for like past 4-5 days. And I think these kind of things, like for my mind to work around that journal, Ali was supposed to tell that thing, and I was supposed to take it in the way I did. You can say, okay, it was my own mind who said audio journal and he never mentioned audio journal, but he talked about journaling. I understand the benefits and the reason why we should do something. Okay, the methods we have to implement ourselves. We have to understand our own situation. This is what I've learned from Dr. Alok, that we have to navigate based on our circumstances. You can't copy paste most of the things because it does not work for most of the people. Whatever you're doing, if you're not waking up or if you're not getting out of the bed to run or go to gym or even do 5 push-ups, it is because of your emotional state. You are feeling a certain kind of emotions at that point in the bed. That's why you are not getting up and doing that push-up, or you're not asking someone out, or if you're not asking for that race, or anything you're doing in life, it's to do with our emotions. So it's like Healthy Gamer Gigi will tell you about your internal self. Unjaded Jade kind of shows like how you can apply those internal emotions externally. And then Ali Abdaal is for me to look someone while going forward as a creator. So that was the end of the video, and I personally follow a lot of different creators. These were the three which comes to my mind when I was thinking of making this video. I'm sure if I do this video again in 6 months or even next year, my three creators will be different. There can be 1 or 2 person in the list, but I'm pretty sure like it will change. So it all depends. We are going through different stages in life, and based on that we consume content as well. So I want you to write down in the comment section which channel will you recommend, and maybe in one sentence you can explain it to a general audience that what you learned. So for me it will be like, from Healthy Gamer I learned about my internet emotions, from Unjaded Jade I see my younger self, and from Ali Abdaal I look someone who is doing good in the field I'm pursuing. So you can do that as well, so people will kind of discover new channel. It will help us to share the knowledge we have. If you like this video, hit the like button. I recently did a video about courage and how we should, use all this motivation we learn from different videos and take those steps of courage. So if you do want to learn about that video, that will be on your screen right now, somewhere around here, and I will see you in that video. Goodbye.